Good morning, beauties. It's Renee, and happy Monday. So a few of you were online yesterday when I was doing my twist, and since I had a couple of extra minutes this morning since it snowed yesterday and we have a delayed opening, I figured that I would just come in real quick and share my takedown with you. So so of course I twisted them up, and of course the twist shrank. And yesterday I tried a new technique. I used a dimming brush to help define the curls, I guess. I don't know what I was doing. I just copied what somebody else did. But anyway, and so I kind of wanted to see whether it was going to give me a different look. So I tied my hair down. My scarf is somewhere, probably on the floor somewhere. But anyway, so I'm going to take them down. And I usually just take just a little bit of oil, and of course my favorite oil right now is the Naturalicious Define Shine Moisture Locking Frizz Fighter. It says that it fights frizz and all that stuff. It's not why I use it. I kind of just use it because I like the shine. So I'm just going to put like a little bit in the palm of my hand. I'm going to rub my hands together, and I'm just going to rub it over my hair. Not a whole lot. And then I'm going to start to take down my twist. A lot of people start from the ends to take their twist down, so they go down here and they twist up. I kind of just twirl my hair in the opposite direction of when I twisted it. And then I grab a spot maybe right here, and then I continue to untwist. If that makes any sense. It works easier for me, so I just take it, and if I twisted it going that way, I unravel it going back. So I'll twist it this way, and then I'll find a section near the bottom but not quite the bottom here, and I'll separate it. And remember yesterday when I said that you create that curl on the tip, that makes it easier to pull apart, because if you twisted it all the way down to the tip, it will be hard to pull apart that way. But you can unravel your twists however it's easier for you. This is just the way that I do it. And when I was telling you guys yesterday, when I used that step 2, the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream, to twist my hair without any gel or anything, and see, that's the definition I get. But the twist it's really soft also, so it gives me a defined twist but not a hard crunchy hold, if that makes any sense. So I'll just go through and unravel the twist. So typically I just go through and I unravel it once first, and then I'll go through and I'll unravel and fluff more. But I'll go through each one of them first, and I don't have any particular order in the way that I take it down, whether I take it down at the back or the front or not. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just take them out. But yeah, I love the way this gives me the definition. And I don't know why I love definition so much, because I'm going to pull it apart so much. Good morning, Tawanda. I'm going to pull it apart so much that it kind of just has a bend. But that's my neuroticism. Neuroticism. That's a word, right? I know neurotic is a word. Neurosis is a word. I'm just assuming that neuroticism is also a word, but if it's not, I made it up, and that's my story. I'm going to stick to it. So yeah. So yeah, we have a delayed opening, although my neighborhood just had a mixture of snow and rain. And so my neighborhood wasn't affected, but in Williamsburg, where my job is, I saw in the news where they got a few inches, and there's a lot of other areas that got, up to 6-10 inches of snow, when the weatherman was only calling for a wintry mix. And so some of my coworkers are without power and have been without power since about 6 o'clock yesterday. So I'm not even sure how many people are actually going to show up at the office today. But of course, my neighborhood is clear. My boss told me that even the road to get to the interstate is clear, so there'll be no snow day for me. I'll be going in, but at least I get to go in late. And so I didn't have to really rush. And so I thought I could just come in and share my takedown with you guys. By the way, good morning if I haven't already said it. I usually try to wait until, a few people get online to view. But I don't have that much time. And you see this? Whoever was watching yesterday, see this right here? That little curl when I said that needs to be trimmed. I hope I still have my scissors in here because I plan on cutting that off. And I have these morning allergies, and so I'm always sniffing. And I remember having a girlfriend back in the day that used to always sniffle. And I was like, man, you always have a cold. And what I was really thinking was like, are you on a powder? Because why are you always sniffling? I understand now why she was, because I know people probably think the same thing about me because I'm always sniffling. But I'm not on the powder. It was a long time before I knew what the powder was. So, but I know what it is now. Yeah, there's one under here. Yup. So I go through, I make sure they're all down. They're all unraveled once. And if you are a beauty who does not like frizz, then you should probably take your time when you unravel. I'm sure I've said this a million and one times that I'm not really one that really cares about frizz. So I'm not always careful. So I think that I got them all individually. And so then I just start to go in and just pull them apart. And I usually start with that on the back. So I'll just take the one twist where I've already separated it once. And then if you don't want frizz and you want to be extra careful, then you just find the spots in the hair where it naturally wants to separate. So if you see the little ridges here, like you would separate it there and there. If you go against the ridge, that would create frizz. So you find it where it naturally wants to separate. When you pull it, it just naturally wants to come apart there. You do that. But I just pull wherever I feel like it. And so, but for the sake of you guys watching, I'll try to do it that way. Like where it wants to separate. And I'll start like small, and once I get it all unraveled a few times or separated a few times, I usually go back in if I want to make it fuller, and I'll go back in once I've gotten it all unraveled once or twice. So, and I know it was Bev, like when she was watching yesterday, I showed her on the ends. So when I did that little curl on the end, when I raveled it around, can you see, am I in a good enough light? Can you see right here where that created that little curl so you don't have those frayed ends? So yeah, when you're twisting it and you wrap it around, twirl it around your finger, you get that little curl on the end. So when you take it down, you don't have those frayed ends that looks like you need a trim. Yeah, and there's also like, other than starting from the back, there's not really a rhyme or reason to my takedown either. I know I should probably be more disciplined, especially when I'm trying to explain it to people, but it's just not that serious for me. So, but you can, if you want to be more organized than me, you can take clips and you can just clip up some of your hair while you work on one section, and you can, take that down and clip up another section if you want to. Now, it's so funny because when I'm treating my hair, like when I'm doing my pre-poo or deep conditioner, I always work in sections. But when I'm taking my style down, not so much. And that's probably another part of my neuroticism, because I'm convinced that that's a word. I have to look it up. But you can work in sections if it's easier. But I can always feel whether or not I need to separate more to my taste. I can feel it with my hands. Or if I miss some, I can feel it with my hands. So I don't necessarily need to work in sections when I'm doing this part. I see a few people watching. If you're watching, say good morning. Or unless you already have and Facebook is tripping. Again, because sometimes, I told you, sometimes they let me see comments. And other times they don't. Yeah, I don't see any, but I can see a few people watching. So say good morning. Yeah. Around the, I guess, the front perimeter of my hair is thinner there. It's like I'm getting male pattern baldness. Is that what it's called? I'm just talking. It is thinner though. Like this part of my hair, the crown part, it's way thicker. None of my hair is actually really thick, but this part right here is the thickest part. And then this back part right here is thicker than that. But around here, it's really thin. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Happy Monday. So, yeah. But I like wearing my hair natural because it looks thicker than it does when I wear it, when I was wearing it straight. So all the gaps were filled in. It used to be that like you could literally see my scalp. Even when I started off on my natural hair journey, when I first started to try the 2-strand twist, my hair, it was always, you could always see the scalp. Like it was never full enough to cover up the gaps. And I didn't know at that time that, you could just use a pick to pick it out, to fluff. I didn't know any of that stuff. And I just thought, wow, like, I don't think I want to wear this 2-strand twist out because my scalp is showing. It just showed me how thin my hair was. And that's when I was just co-washing. But once I started to shampoo my hair, and I got it really, really clean, like it appeared to be much thicker. And so now when I pull it apart, the gaps probably, they just like literally just close themselves. I don't have to do a whole lot of picking to close the gaps. I do some picking if I want to lift it some, but not to close the gaps, just if I want to lift it. So you see, I don't have any particular organization or order that I go in to pull them apart. I just find some that hasn't been pulled apart, and I just do that. See, there's where I said that naturally wants to separate, like in here. But I just snatch it. See here? Like it naturally, and you see what I just did? You see that part? Now that'll become a frizz because I just snatched it apart. You can take your fingers and kind of smooth that if that happens to you. Look at this. Where's those scissors? Gracious day. I put them away, didn't I? Oh well. I'll have to trim that off. All right, so. And again, I'm not real careful not to cause any friction or frizz, because I don't really stress about frizz as much as some people do. I'm not judging. I'm just saying it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers some people. Okay, there's a piece there. There's a piece there. So for the most part, I've gone through, except for these right here, I've gone through and separated, you know, maybe once or twice. Once I do this part, then I'll get a feel for whether I want to continue to separate and fluff. And I don't think that using a dimming brush did anything different for my twist out than it would have done had I not used it. Most likely my hair would have shrunk just as much as it's shrunk right now, and the curls would still look the way they look now. So that was just for me, an unnecessary step. So I know now that I don't have to do that anymore. I just wanted to try it. And I'm going to show you guys something. I told you, like, I've been protective styling for almost 3 months, and so I haven't washed and deep conditioned my hair. So if you see this part right here where the roots are, like all that was new growth because of the being in protective style, and this part right here is not hydrated. So you can see how, I don't know, let me see. You can see how right here the roots look way drier than the ends, because the ends is the part that have always been, well, not the very tips, but like this middle part, that's the part that was already hydrated. And when I was in the protective style, the new growth was growing in, but I wasn't shampooing and deep conditioning and moisturizing it as much, so it's still dry and it's still fluffy there. So that's the part that I have to work on, because typically my hair is moisturized enough where I get curls from the roots to the tips, and like right now I don't have any curl at the roots, because you can just see how puffy that is. But that'll come with some work. So I've unraveled once mostly, and now I just start to feel, and I just start to go in and just, you know, pull some more apart until it gets to the desired look. And I don't know what the desired look is until I get there. So, and I can still feel gaps in the back, and I'm sure you can see it. There's probably a gap right there. That's the way that, you know, I grab the twist, and so like up there. So I'll do, you know, pulling through here to try to minimize the amount of my scalp that you can see. I'll take a mirror, you know, like once I'm done here, because, yeah, I don't have one in here. That's so crazy. It's in my beauty room / she shed is what I'm calling it, because I love that commercial where Cheryl has a she shed, and lightning hits it and she thinks somebody sets it on fire. So yeah, this is what I do here. And like, as far as my edges is concerned, now when I had the protective style, especially when I had the cornrow style going back, when Keisha did it, she kind of like did my baby hairs or whatever. I don't really care about slayed edges or slick edges. So what I usually do, like for my edges, since I really like my hair on this side pushed back away from my face, so I don't necessarily use a gel for that. I'll just take my toothbrush, well, not the one that I use on my teeth, but I'll take a toothbrush, the one that I use for my hair, and I wet it, and I just push the hair back like this with the toothbrush and water. It's going to curl back up, and I'm okay with that, but just to start, I just push it back, and I don't use any gel. And sometimes I will take the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream only because that helps keeps my edges moisturized, but not because I want sleek or slayed edges, just because I want it to be moisturized, especially now since my hair is really kind of dry at the roots, because I'm still working on getting it back to the level of hydration that it was before I started to protective style. So yeah, so I'm still just pulling and picking. I kind of like my 2-strand twist out to look like a wash and go. Well, the wash and go that I desire. My wash and goes never look like this, and I've seen women with wash and goes that look like, you know, these kind of curls with the clumps. And my wash and go, my curls are so tightly woven that it doesn't look like this at all. Even once I pick it out or stretch my roots, my wash and goes never look like this. So I always prefer the 2-strand twist out because it gives me the look of a wash and go, but it's not necessarily a wash and go. And so, yeah. And again, if you want to reduce or try to eliminate frizz, then once you separate it, don't do what I'm doing. But I literally just pull through and fluff. And I don't even think that I'll use a pick today to make it any bigger, because I'm kind of satisfied with the way that it looks now. But I'll have to get a mirror and look at the back of it just to see if those gaps that I was trying to cover are covered. And that's it. Yeah, so since I had a couple of extra minutes this morning, I just thought I'd come in, you know, and share my takedown with you guys and wish you guys an amazing day on purpose and all that jazz. And if you're in the area where, I know in North Carolina they had some snow, so if you're in that area and you have to venture outside, you know, just to advise you to be safe. And I know you've been told that by all the news people on the television and probably your family and friends. If you got to go outside, be careful. If you don't have to go outside, don't go outside, and all that good stuff. So thank you for joining me this morning for my 2-strand twist out takedown. I hope you guys have an amazing day on purpose. Smooches. Mwah.